Folks, we have an announcement date for the new Top Thrill Dragster. 2 days ago, Cedar Point dropped a bombshell on the coaster community with this posting to their social media channels. Fans were thinking we'd be waiting until National Roller Coaster Day on August 16th to find out what was going on. But now we get to find out in less than 2 weeks. But in typical Cedar Point fashion, they added more fuel to the fire with 3 V's in the word revved. What could that possibly mean? Could this be Roman numerals? Could Savage Coasters be right with his Dragster 555 concept he dropped back in September? Which we totally didn't think was happening when we made a prediction video back in December. But since then, footers were built behind the station in the Iron Dragon Lagoon, so it's clearly gaining a spike of some sort. With that said, the good people over at Lake Erie Lifestyles did some digging, and there's nothing filed with the FAA for a structure over 200 feet. So perhaps it's for 3 launches, starting off the ride with a forward launch followed by a rollback everyone craved with the original. Then a launch backwards up the spike, followed by a forward launch up the 420 foot tall top hat. Either of the scenarios would end up making for one epic ride. With that said, we're going to miss the extreme acceleration of the old hydraulic launch. That 0 to 120 miles per hour in 4 seconds was epic. Another downside of a swing launch is that it would be a capacity killer, but I guess that's better than excessive downtime. Anyway, there have been a ton of developments since we dropped the video in December giving our thoughts on the future of Top Thrill Dragster, and we thought it'd be fun to go over what we got right and what we got wrong so far. Back then, all we knew was that the ride was going to return as a new and reimagined ride experience. There was some serious digging and demolition taking place around the station, and all the launch, station, and brake run track had been removed and nicely stacked at an off-site storage facility. Then, Cedar Point Nation had tracked a shipping container, which looked like it was heading to the port of Genoa, Italy, Intamin's port of choice, but also not far from Zamperla. Which takes us to the first thing we got right. Track and Supports recently returned to the storage facility with an all-new white and gray color scheme. Lake Erie Lifestyles did some more digging and found Zamperla labels, which was no surprise to us since Zamperla is also refurbishing the Intamin-built Sensafiato for P&A Playland in Vancouver. A lot of fans are unhappy and point to the lackluster portfolio of Zamperla, and fear the updated ride would have a lot of downtime, as if the original didn't. We like to think of Intamin as the BMW or Mercedes of coaster manufacturers. It's what everyone wants, but they're expensive and always break down. Zamperla, on the other hand, is a lot like Honda and Toyota. Those cars were once thought of as a joke, but now they are the most popular, affordable, and reliable cars out there. This is most definitely a new chapter for Zamperla. We're also super excited to see Top Thrill Dragster rocking the new Zamperla Lightning Trains, which were revealed at IAAPA back in November. The second thing we got right was the opening year of 2024, which wasn't exactly the hardest thing to predict. But late last year when we made the video, there were people thinking it might reopen in 2023 because the park was calling Wild Mouse their 18th coaster, which means they were counting Top Thrill Dragster in the count. But there was just no way they'd finish in time. Nor would they want Top Thrill Dragster to overshadow Wild Mouse and the new Boardwalk section. And now to everything we got wrong. As mentioned earlier, we didn't think there would be a reverse spike. There didn't look to be any room behind the station, unless they removed Iron Dragon. Well, yeah. And because we didn't think there'd be a reverse spike, we also didn't see it being a multi or swing launch coaster. Fail. We also speculated with the name and theme, and while we don't have a name yet, we were way off with the theme, which we thought could be a NASA or space theme in some fashion. A week after we dropped the video in December, Cedar Point released a teaser video which said, "A new formula for thrills," which made it really clear that it would still have a race theme, as in Formula 1 racing. And if there was any question that they might have been talking about baby formula, it was cleared up a few days ago with these teasers added around the ride. The remaining parts of the ride are also receiving that all-new color scheme with dark gray supports in white track to match the parts delivered. We think it looks great. And honestly, we weren't fans of the old colors, especially all that yellow. Well, that's all for now. We'll release another video in a couple weeks when Cedar Point gives us all that juicy information they've been holding back. Until then, drop a comment and let us know what you think about the current work going on, as well as the teasers. What do you think about Zamperla working on the ride? And how tall would that spike be? Also, what about the colors? Do you like them or not? Alright, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.